talking about it. Young girls were often the ones out on this corner. Runaways, drug addicts. Prostitution was filled with girls who'd been abused. The guys hiring them should know better. Half of the Johns were middle-aged, educated businessmen. Yesterday, she'd arrested a high school history teacher, married with kids at that. A black BMW pulled up to her corner, a nice car for this part of the city. Lydia left her lamppost, swaggered over to the car, and put on an alluring smile. 2 things needed to happen before she could say the words that would bring in the backup team. The guy needed to ask for an illicit act, and he needed to offer her money. The tinted window rolled down. Lydia leaned toward it. "Looking for some fun, handsome?" She called everyone handsome. She might have to act like a hooker, but at least she could be polite about it. As soon as the words left Lydia's mouth, she realized she hadn't misspoken. The man sitting behind the wheel was drop-dead gorgeous. She'd always thought so, especially while dating him in high school. Harrison Aldridge's sandy blonde hair was short and smooth, less tousled than it had been 6 years ago. The blue eyes were the same, pale, like sunlight shining through water. His shoulders were broader. He'd grown into his height. Lydia stared at him, incredulous. Of all the places she could have run into Harrison, he had to pull up to her corner while she was pretending to be a prostitute. In that one moment, her mind flashed back to her senior year, to the time he'd given her a heart pendant necklace for Valentine's Day. He'd showed up so many times at the grocery store where she worked as a clerk that her boss finally said that Harrison either had to stop coming to see her or start helping her shelf things. They spent many an evening restocking the snack aisle. On prom night, Harrison said he loved her. And then a week later, he broke up with her. The memories about him always ended there, on the day and the night before it, when she realized love hadn't meant much to him. She and Harrison had been sitting on his apartment balcony, the lights of New York spread out in front of them like a constellation that had fallen to earth. Sitting on Harrison's balcony made her feel like she was soaring above the city, that all of her problems could be as easily overlooked as the dirt on the streets below them. "So, what's your good news?" she asked. Earlier, he'd texted that they would be celebrating. Harrison had brought 2 wine glasses and a bottle of sparkling apple cider, underage champagne, with him to the balcony. He poured the cider into the glasses and handed her one. "The good news is that you're looking at a Harvard freshman." He clinked his glass against hers in a toast. "Or at least I will be in September." She had the grace to not drop her glass. She was even able to force a smile. "Congratulations!" She wrapped her free arm around him in a hug. If they were hugging, he couldn't see her face and he wouldn't be able to read the raw despair in her eyes. She had a moment to mask it, time to calm her shaking. "Wow! Harvard! That's great!" When she finally pulled away from him, she was composed. Lydia couldn't protest that going to Harvard would mean that the 2 of them wouldn't be together at CUNY. Harrison's parents had planned for him to go to Harvard since he was born. His father and grandfather had gone there. It was as much a part of the Aldridge tradition as running their family's property management business. Lydia took a sip of the apple cider. The bubbles felt sharp inside her mouth, bitter. Harrison went on telling her about getting the letter today, how his parents had made a big deal about not opening it until they were together at dinner. "All I could think was, if I don't get in, the rest of dinner will be really awkward." Harrison tilted his head back and laughed. He was all ambition and possibility. The happiness lit up his features, making him even more handsome. "Dinner crisis averted." "That's the important thing." She laughed along with him, but even to her ear, the laugh sounded